I had always believed in the freedom of living life on my own terms, without anyone trying to dictate how I should live or what I could do. That was until Karen from the HOA decided that my peaceful, independent existence was a threat to her authority. She had always been a stickler for rules, always making sure everyone followed the HOA guidelines, but when I moved into the neighborhood and refused to submit to her control, she didn't take kindly to it. I never asked for her approval, and that seemed to make her furious. She began to watch my every move, sending letters about trivial things like the color of my fence or how many lights I could have in my yard during the holidays. The petty harassment escalated quickly, and before I knew it, she was threatening legal action for living outside the confines of her so-called community standards. One morning, I received a letter saying that I was being sued for not complying with HOA rules, demanding that I pay fines or face severe legal consequences. It was absurd. I owned my property and I wasn't even part of the HOA. But Karen, in her infinite arrogance, believed she could control everything around her. She thought she had the power to destroy my peace of mind and my livelihood just because I refused to let her control my life. But what she didn't know was that I was no ordinary resident. I had been preparing for a situation like this. For years, I had kept a legal file filled with everything, every communication, every note, and every action Karen had ever taken against me. I had documented everything meticulously, and along with those records, I carried something else, something that could turn the tide in my favor. I had a highly skilled lawyer, one with the experience and connections to take on someone like Karen. As she strutted into the courtroom, confident she would win, she had no idea that I was armed with more than just my property rights. I had the law on my side, and my lawyer had already found several loopholes in the HOA's legal standing, meaning Karen's lawsuit could backfire. When the judge heard our case, Karen's demeanor changed. The evidence I presented proved that her case was not only baseless, but also that her actions were bordering on harassment. The look of disbelief on her face when the judge ruled in my favor was priceless. She had tried to use her so-called authority to tear me down, but it only ended in her own defeat. As I walked out of the courtroom, victorious, I couldn't help but smile. Karen had underestimated me, and it was a mistake she would never make again.